Marketing in 2025 is wild. Savvy customers spot fake messaging instantly, privacy changes make ad targeting a nightmare, and everyone needs more content than ever. That's why you have to check out HubSpot's new marketing trends report. It doesn't just show you what's changing, it shows you exactly how to deal with it. Everything's backed by research, but focused on marketing plays you can use tomorrow. You ready to turn marketing hurdles into results? Go to clickhubspot.com/marketing to download it for free. Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, March 31st. I'm John Weigell here with Juliet, Bennett, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. Your parents' favorite weird party fruit bouquets, edible arrangements, have brought such joy to people around the world, and now they're bringing it in a different sense. The company recently started selling a line of THC edibles. Kinda makes sense, but where does their business operate, and is the pivot going well? We'll chat about that in a bit, but first let's give you the news in business in tech. Well, to start with the obvious today, on Friday, Elon Musk said that he will combine X and xAI into one company. The deal positions xAI to acquire X and values the social media platform at $33 billion. Musk initially purchased X, then Twitter, for $40 billion. Up next, new-ish CEO Brian Niccol has been aiming to jumpstart Starbucks, and the next fix on the list is long lines. The company is now setting a goal to complete each drive-thru order in just 4 minutes. To do so, Starbucks plans to hire more workers and focus on efficiency. We've heard that before. And from there, we go to some banking news. Charlie Javis, founder of FAFSA software startup Frank, was convicted of defrauding JP Morgan Chase out of $175 million by extracting her customer base tenfold when selling her company to the bank. And finally, surprise here, smartphone use was associated with positive mental health outcomes in kids, according to a new University of South Florida study. The study surveyed about 1,500 11 to 13-year-olds and found that children who have their own smartphones scored better than those who don't on almost every well-being measure, including depression and anxiety. However, kids who post often on social media were twice as likely as those who never or rarely post to report symptoms of anxiety, depression, and trouble sleeping. So, yeah, a little bit on both sides there. So, if you're listening to this podcast, you are more than likely thinking about business ideas. Every entrepreneur has a million ideas vying for attention in their brain, and there's probably that one idea you can't stop thinking about. You know, the one that came to you at 2 a.m. that you got up and wrote down somewhere. Well, I'm here to tell you that that idea could be worth $5,000 right now. The Hustle and Indie Hackers are teaming up to find the next great founder and get them started with $5,000. All you got to do is record a 60-second video pitch telling us your business idea, how it makes money, and why it's awesome. One winner gets $5,000 cash plus promotion to millions of Hustle readers. Make sure you enter by April 4th at thehustle.co/bigbreak. That's thehustle.co/bigbreak. You can also click the link in the show notes of this episode. The winner will be announced on April 11th right here on the Hustle Daily Show, the Hustle newsletter, and on the Hustle's social accounts. Now get to pitching. All right, so the once fruit bouquet-laden edible arrangements is now focusing deeply on just the edible part of the arrangements. So, Juliet, can you tell me what's happening here?
All right. So Edible Arrangements, known for their chocolate-covered strawberry bouquets, has made what I feel is perhaps the most obvious choice ever in diversification. They have launched an online direct-to-consumer platform for edibles, the cannabis kind.
Yeah.
It is called edibles.com. It is currently available to people in Texas, but it will soon expand in the Southeast United States. And they're also opening a brick-and-mortar location in Atlanta.
Okay, so what a pivot, because as you mentioned at the top of your story, a lot of other companies have tried weird pivots
Yes.
in how they market and how they do things and new products that don't exactly work perfectly for what they're doing. But Edible Arrangements, having the website edibles.com, it seems just like an easy fit, and it really is.
Yeah.
I guess my first question is, how legal is it? Because I know different states have different regulations around this. And so what are they doing to combat that?
Well, for one thing, they actually didn't have edibles.com to begin with, if you can imagine.
Oh, they
For
didn't?
some reason, they didn't own that domain. They had to get it from a squatter.
Oh my God, the squatters
Yeah.
are out. That's great.
When you hear edible, you either think cannabis or you think edible arrangements.
Right.
There's no in between. So the interesting thing about this is that it is legal because of the 2018 Farm Bill, which legalized hemp. Hemp is defined as a plant that contains 0.3% or less THC, but hemp and cannabis, they're essentially the same thing. Now, a hemp-derived THC product probably, you're not going to get as high. And that's kind of the thing that's happening here. If you look at the website, all of the products are obviously edibles. There's no joints, there's no flour, there's no resin,
Gotcha.
nothing else, no vapes. It's just consumables, so drinks, candies, stuff like that. And they pretty much all have 5 milligrams of THC or less per serving. So this is not a 420 Blaze It Cannabis Cup High Times Cheech and Chong situation over here. This is a very gentle high. And the deal with hemp-derived THC is that it is legal nationwide. So even states that have not legalized cannabis, you can sell hemp-derived THC products there, assuming that state has also not passed legislation against hemp-derived THC products.
Sure. Well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense then that they're going for this model because it's a lot more applicable across the nation, a lot less barriers, it seems like. And at least it's a good way to get their foot in the door with this whole hemp emergence.
Right.
So beyond the name, beyond edibles versus edible arrangements, why does this make so much sense for the company? Are there any other factors that go into this decision?
Yeah, this is actually honestly such a good idea, I think. And I hope that it pans out for them for a few reasons. So when you think about the way we consume anything intoxicating today, people, especially younger people, Gen Z, they're consuming less alcohol. They don't want to drink as much, but they are into this sort of functional beverage market, which is growing rapidly. And they are into wellness type products. So when you think about a cannabis product like, say, a seltzer that only has 5 milligrams of THC, that's going to be a really relaxing sort of sleepy time high. And that's what this site is focusing for. It's the wellness. It's the, do you need a little mood boost? Do you need to calm down? Do you need something to help you go to sleep? So that is, I think, a wise market to tap. It's very approachable and accessible, even to people who don't consider themselves quote unquote stoners, who aren't super familiar. You don't need to buy a bong or know how to roll a joint to enjoy these projects. You're like, yeah, I'll have it. And it's a very gentle high, unless you want to drink 38 of them, but I wouldn't advise that.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a get you through the day kind of thing, more than it is like a sprawl out and blaze up kind of situation, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is that Edible Arrangements has been around since 1999. And today it has, around 1,000 stores across the United States. So it already has this supply network that it can use to offer same and next day delivery, kind of like how Instacart works or Drizzly would deliver alcohol. You have this ability to just, I want these products and they're going to show up today or they're going to show up tomorrow. They're going to show up very soon. And it's different from a dispensary. So when you think about a delivery platform like Ease and a lot of these platforms, they connect you to a dispensary menu, let's say. So you're like, okay, this dispensary near me has the following items I can choose. And then a third-party courier is going to deliver them to me. This is just all one thing. These are the curated products that edibles.com has. And then it's all one thing.
Exactly. And that's great that they have the distribution already. So this kind of seems like such an easy transformation of the business. And I think it's a good decision because when is the last time that you have seen an edible arrangement?
Oh, gosh.
Right?
So long. I mean, there's one in my neighborhood and I have walked by it. But when was the last time I received one or saw someone receive one? I couldn't tell you.
This could be just me thinking based on experience, but I really thought that they had their heyday in the 2010s, the early 2000s. And I'm not sure if business has died down, but this is a great way to pick it back up if it has.
For sure. And listen, I know what everyone's thinking, because my first question was, can I get a bouquet, an artfully curated bouquet of edibles with maybe a teddy bear and a bow or whatever? So in reporting on this story, we did talk to Thomas Winstanley, who is edibles.com's executive VP. I asked this question and, he didn't count it out, but he said right now they are focusing on the launch of edibles.com as its own thing. So what I am saying is, I think that if you have a desire to perhaps one day get an edibles bouquet that gets you a little high, definitely support this platform. And maybe with our combined interests, we can make it happen.
I can see a giant hemp leaf made of edibles being rolled in the near future, in the next few years, perhaps. So
yes. And I've seen cannabis bouquets. I remember when cannabis was first legalized in California. I remember seeing like a picture of someone who had made a bouquet, like the kind you'd have at a wedding, but it was all made out of like baby's breath and cannabis flowers. It's been done. I haven't seen it done with edibles, but I'm just saying, weed chocolate's a thing. Weed chocolate covered strawberries could also be a thing.
They could. I'm excited for that day. Mm-hmm. It can finally grace my Super Bowl party.
Yes.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of HubSpot Media. Our editor is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We got a ton more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go sign up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at The Hustle Daily. We will see you tomorrow. Hey, everybody. I've been listening to this awesome podcast lately. You know it. You love it. My First Million, hosted by Sam Parr and Sean Puri, is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. My First Million features famous guests like Alex Hormozi, Sophia Amoruso, and Hassan Minaj, sharing their secrets on how they made their first $1 million and how to apply their learnings to capitalize on today's business trends and opportunities. Talk about somebody that's really in the now. They had on Mr. Beast recently, and Mr. Beast talked about his origin story and how he made his first $1 million and how you can make anything go viral if you really try to do it, which is a great listen. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. You can catch all the recent episodes whenever you want, and you can listen to My First Million wherever you get your podcasts.